so that we get to learn together. So let us now talk about covalent bonding. So what is covalent bonding? What is covalent bonding? This one also has got another term. So apart from covalent bonding, we can call this as molecular. So you can call that as molecular bonding. Have you seen? So this is what you need to know. You can call it as molecular bonding, just one and the same. So when I'm talking about molecular bonding or covalent bonding, just one and the same thing. So now, what is molecular bonding or what is covalent bonding? So covalent bonding, so I'm going to say the definition of this one. This is just the sharing, this is what you need to understand. Sharing of electrons. So this is just the sharing of electrons. So it is the sharing of electrons. This is just the sharing of electrons between non-metals. So sharing of electrons between non-metals. So this is what you need to get. This is the sharing of electrons between non-metals. The sharing of electrons between what? Between non-metals. So each time we are talking about covalent bonding, this is just the other name is what? Molecular bonding. What's the definition? Sharing of electrons between non-metals. So this is just the sharing of electrons between non-metals. So now you need to know when we say, what if I say, what is a covalence? Have you seen what is a covalence? So a covalence, this is what? The number of electrons an atom shares shares with another atoms. So what is a covalence? Covalence, this is just a what? A number of electrons. So this is just a number of electrons that an atom shares with other atoms. That is what? Covalence. This is what you need to understand. So covalence is a number of electrons that an atom shares with other what? Other atoms. Then there is what we call a covalent now. Is what we call a covalent bond. So what is a covalent bond? What is a covalent bond? A covalent bond is very simple. So the other name, since there we said covalent bonding, the other name is what? Molecular bonding. So if we are talking about covalent bond, we are talking about what? Molecular bond. Molecular what? Molecular bond. So what is molecular bond? What is molecular bond? So molecular bond, a molecular bond, this is a bond of shared pair of electrons, and this is formed between non-metals. Have you seen? So this is the what? This is just a bond of shared electrons. This is what you need to get. This is just a what? This is just a bond. We are just talking about a bond of shared. So a bond of shared, hope you are able to see, this is shared, a bond of shared electrons. So this is a bond of shared what? Electrons. This is just a bond of shared electrons, and it is formed between non-metals. So whenever we are talking about molecular compounds, molecular bonds, these are just molecules. Have you seen? So usually molecular compounds. So when you are talking about molecular, as you can see, molecular what? Molecular compound. So molecular compound, usually we are just talking about what? We are just talking about molecules. Have you seen? We are just talking about what? Molecules. Then you know what molecules are. Molecules, these are a group of atoms that exist independent and they are free, they are in free state. Have you seen? So this is what you need to understand each time we are talking about molecular compounds. So you know that a molecule is just these are atoms that exist independently, they are in free state. So each time you are talking about covalent bonding, so you need now to understand examples of these compounds. So what are some of the examples that we need to consider? What are some of the examples that we need to talk about? So examples of what? These are examples of covalent bonding. Have you seen examples of covalent what? Bonding. Examples of covalent bonding. So what are some of the examples of this covalent bonding? We've got the hydrogen molecule. So hydrogen molecule is like this. We've got hydrogen molecule. We also have H2O. We all know that this is water. We also have ammonia. We know that ammonia is like this. We also have oxygen molecule. So these are just some of the examples that we need to consider. So these are some of the examples that you need to know under covalent bonding. So that we've got the hydrogen molecule, we've got the water molecule, we've got the ammonia, we also have oxygen molecule. So these are examples. So I'm going to show you how we can now form this. So each time you are talking about covalent bonding, we just concentrate on the outermost shell. So we just talk about the outermost shell. We just need to understand the outermost shell. So let us we can start with anything here. So let us start with water. Let us start with the water. So how can we form this bond? So how can we form that? So I'm going to love this part. Hope you are able to understand everything that I'm trying to illustrate here. So let us now start with what? Formation. So we are going to talk about formation. Formation of what? Formation of water, which is H2O, like this. This is what we are going to talk about. So in an exam, they won't tell you that this is an ionic compound, this is a covalent compound. No, you need to know what they are really talking about. So how can you form this? So I've told you that what you need to consider is the outermost shell. So you know that water is formed by two elements, which is hydrogen and oxygen. So you know that hydrogen is like this. This is the way hydrogen is. Hydrogen only has one electron. So like this, one electron. Have you seen? So it is H2O. So it means two atoms of hydrogen are surrounding oxygen. So it is like this, HOH. Have you seen? This is how we need to get that. So two atoms of hydrogen are surrounding what? Oxygen. Here and this other side. So I've told you that we only talk about the what? Outermost shell. You go to oxygen. So here I need to put oxygen here. So oxygen has got how many electrons in its outermost shell? Oxygen is like this. There is 8 here and a 16 there. So electronic configuration is like this, 2 then a 6. So it means it is having 6 electrons in its outermost shell. So I'm going to get these 6 electrons. So just talk about the 6 electrons. So I'm going to do this. Have you seen? So I'm going to say here 2 to differentiate. I put crosses 2, 4. Then I put 5 here and a 6 there. So there are 6. Then I put another what? I put another hydrogen this other side. Then you know that hydrogen has only one electron in its outermost shell, like that. So one electron in its outermost shell. So I've told you that this is the what? This is the sharing. It is the sharing of electrons. So electrons are not transferred, but they are shared. So they are doing what? They are sharing. So sharing, so it means here they are going to share this one so that they can be stable. Even these they are going to share here. Have you seen? So when this shared, which means that they are going to form something that will look like this. This is what we are going to form, like this. This is what we are going to form. So we are going to have hydrogen this side, oxygen here, hydrogen this other side. So they have got 2, even they have got 2. Have you seen? So these are being shared. So these which are being shared, I'm going to write them here. Have you seen? These are electrons that are being shared. So this is a what? A compound. This is a structure for water. Have you seen? So as you can see, oxygen must have 8 electrons in its outermost shell for it to be full. If you count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there are 8 electrons. Even hydrogen needs 1 electron. So, and it is here. 1, it has gained 1. So if you count here, we are having 2. If we count there, we are having 2. So this is how these bonds are being formed. This is what you need to understand. They are just being shared there. Have you seen? They are just being shared there. So this is the what? The structure for water. This is what you need to get and understand. So I want you to understand this. You get the concept. You get what I'm trying to illustrate here. So now, let us look at another example. So hope you've seen how this one is. This is what you need to form. So let us look at another type. So we talked about formation of water. Let us now form ammonia. So how can you form ammonia? Let us talk about this. So if you are watching this, you can pause this. You can pause a video, then compare your answer with my answer, how I'm going to form this. So make sure you pause the video, then you try to answer this one. Try to work out this and see how you are going to form. If you've understood the concept or you are still learning. So try this one, pause this, then pause the video, then try to continue how you are going to answer it, because this is a bit simple compared to these other ones. So what you need to get now is that you are having 3 atoms of what? Hydrogen surrounding what? Nitrogen. So this, you can write this as nitrogen here, then hydrogen this side, hydrogen this side, even hydrogen down. If you want, you can put it down or you can put it on top. So this is what we are going to do. So you know now that hydrogen, whenever we are talking about covalent bonds, we are just talking about the outermost shell. So our key interest is in the outermost shell. So we just focus on the what? Outermost shell. So we just need to focus on the outermost shell. So the outermost shell of hydrogen, you know that hydrogen has only 1 electron in its outermost shell. Then nitrogen is like this. The proton number is 7, then the mass number is 14. So when we write the electronic configuration, we are going to have 2,5. So how many electrons are there? 5 electrons. So these are the 5 electrons. Then, so you need to be writing this, you need to be as smart as you can, because you know that, okay, 3 of the elements or 3 of the electrons of nitrogen are going to be shared to this. So you know that 3 electrons, you need to put them separate on their own. So we are going to start with what? We are going to start with hydrogen. So hydrogen 1 there. I go to nitrogen here. Nitrogen has got 5. So 1 this side, 1 this other side, 1 here. Because these are electrons that are going to involve themselves in bonding. Then the 2, you put them there. If you count these, there are many 5. So you don't just write this anyhow. You write this as smart as you can. So you need to be very smart and sharp. So this is how you need to do it. Then you put another hydrogen this side, like this. So this is not a shell. Remember, this is not a shell. So you do that. Then you put another one here, like this. Then you say, this is hydrogen here. You put hydrogen here. Have you seen? Hydrogen there. Then it is having 1. So you know that the electrons that are going to be shared, are these. 1, 2, how many? 3, like this. So you know that hydrogen must have 2 electrons in its outermost shell. Then this one must have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So this is what you need to get and understand. So what I'm going to follow now, this is what I'm going to follow. So these are going to be shared. So which means the one structure that I'm going to form, when these share, the structure will look like this. This is how the structure is going to be. So hydrogen, nitrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen, like this. So you know that this is nitrogen, this is hydrogen, even this side we've got hydrogen, even this other side we've got what? Hydrogen. So these are going to share, these are going to share these. So they are going to form as one, they are going to be put in one space. Where? Here, like this. Even here, this. Even there, like that. Have you seen? These are sharing, these two are sharing. Even the two here are sharing, even the two here are sharing. So I put these ones there, like that. So this is a what? This is a structure for what? Ammonia. So get this. This is the structure for what? Ammonia. So this is the structure for ammonia. Make sure you get this, you understand this. This is ammonia. Have you seen ammonia is like this? NH3. This is ammonia. So make sure you understand this. So these are very, so at your own time, you can go through some questions. You try to go through some questions, you practice them. So this is just what I want you to write. So let me just give you some. So these, they can be a combination of, it's you now to decide. You are going to know if it is ionic or covalent bonding from the knowledge that I've taught you. So I want you to write the structural formula of this. So this is the knowledge that you have, what you've gathered, or from what you've learned from this. I want you to answer this. So I want you to write the structure formula of, so structure formula of magnesium oxide. This is the first one. I want you to write the structure of, this one. This is called methane. Have you seen? This is called methane. This is methane. I want you to write the structure of oxygen molecule. So you're going to know which ones are covalent bonds, which one are ionic bonds. So I want you to get this, and I want you to write this. So this is what you need to do at your own free time. So go through this, write the structure, this the same way I was writing the structures of the other ones. I want you to write the structures of these ones. So this is very simple. This is very simple. We are able to do that one. So now let us look at now characteristics, then we conclude. Let us look at the characteristics. So this is your work. So let us look at the characteristics now. So we look at the what? The characteristics. How is the character of this? So we look at the what? Characteristics. So I want us to look at the characteristics of this. So what are some of the characteristics of this? So the first one that we are going to talk about, how are these? These, one thing you need to know is that they are made up of molecules. So these are made up of what? Molecules. They are made up of molecules. Second one is that they have low melting. So they have low melting and boiling point. So just the opposite of those. Low melting and boiling point. These are what you need to understand. The third one is that they are generally, so these terms are very simple for you to know. So volatile. Have you seen? They are generally volatile. The fourth one that we are going to talk about is that they usually ask these in an exam. So make sure you understand. So these are insoluble. So these are insoluble in water. But soluble, but what? Soluble in organic. So soluble in organic solvents. So I told you what organic solvents are. Petrol, we've got petrol, ethanol. Those are examples that you need to get. So those are some of the examples that you need to know and understand. So make sure that you understand all these principles that I've told you. So now, then the last one, which we don't even, they don't even ask of it mostly in an exam. So this one, they don't usually ask it in an exam. But since we are doing both,